Hello, welcome to Practicing Mindfulness. This is a collaboration of the Sault Ste. Marie Public Library and myself, Anne O'Connor. I'm a social worker and I've practiced mindfulness for 20 years. I've recently certified to teach mindfulness and have begun teaching in this community. We have formed this collaboration because during the pandemic, people cannot easily attend a mindfulness class um, due to their responsibilities and the limitations of public gathering. And so this particular session is devoted to mindfulness of breath. You may already have a breath practice. All cultures and traditions have breath teachings and practices, and you may have learned a breath practice already through an exercise class or through the practice of yoga. If you do have a breath practice, I would really encourage you to return to that practice frequently each day. The more you practice, the more that you will have access to that in the moments that are difficult. And right now, we really need to be taking a lot of deep breaths. Mindfulness means staying present moment to moment with respect and non-judgment. And it teaches us to be present. We can get quite lost in our thoughts. So picture thoughts are like time traveling, where you are thinking about something in the past, replaying it, trying to sort it out, revisiting it, feeling the tension of that. We can also get lost in thoughts about the future. Wishing, hoping, I want this to happen. I can't wait till that happens. And so the mind is always, it's what the mind does, always traveling into the past or into the future. Mindfulness teaches us to come back to the present. And when we practice mindfulness, we learn how to pause and respond rather than to react or to avoid difficulties. Mindfulness also teaches us how to relate to ourselves with kindness. And so this mindfulness of breath today can be practiced sitting down. And today I'm going to teach it from the point of view that you're sitting down, but it also can be used standing. It can be, so picture when you're standing in line. It can be used lying down before bed, when you're taking a nap, and it also can be done walking. So picture practicing mindfulness of breath as you're walking through the park and breathing with the sound of the birds and the wind. So today, with mindfulness of breath, I'm asking you to sit comfortably. It's really important that we practice sitting comfortably right now. So making yourself comfortable in your chair with your feet on the floor and feeling the support of the chair, feeling the support of the floor, and settling those small muscles. We're going to begin with some deep breaths, but when you're comfortable, closing your eyes, if you prefer, just casting your gaze gently and softly down. And we're going to start with 3 deep breaths, and we're going to do them with you, filling the lungs and exhaling, relaxing your shoulders. So taking a deep breath now, filling your lungs. And exhaling slowly. And once again. And exhale slowly. And once again. And taking a moment, noticing whether the exhale had any impact on your body. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. So just noticing as your breath returns to its natural rhythm. Noticing that the breath knows what to do. And now bringing your attention to where you feel the breath, the sensations of the breath most clearly, where the breath touches your body. This could be the nostrils, the back of the throat, the rise and fall of your chest or your belly. So taking a moment now to notice this. This place where you notice the breath and the body meeting, we're going to call our anchor. An anchor is used to steady a boat, and the breath is the anchor we're using to steady the body and the mind. When distractions come, return to the breath with kindness. Return to the anchor. When distractions come, the breath is the anchor to the present moment. And now, with the next 3 breaths, notice the uniqueness of each breath. Noticing if the breath is long or short. Noticing if the breath is fast or slow. Noticing when thoughts come, returning to the breath with kindness. Noticing the 3 parts of the breath: the in-breath, the out-breath, and a moment of stillness at the end of the out-breath. For the next 3 breaths, notice the out-breath. And in this final moment of practice, staying with the out breath. Now noticing your feet on the floor, your seat in the chair, moving your fingers, moving your toes. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. Thank you for practicing with me. Now, I'd like to propose that over the next few days, the next week, you can return to this video. We've put a timestamp so that you can skip the introduction and just work with this sitting practice. Another practice that you might try is to pause and take 3 mindful breaths. Sometimes we can only be mindful for 1 breath, but we'll try for 3. And do that several times a day. So you can do it as you're sitting, just before you turn the car on, when you're making supper, before you go to sleep. And the more you practice this pause, take a breath, and proceed, the more you'll have it available to you when you really need it. So the Public Library and I thank you for joining us, and have a mindful day.